So we gonna talk about.
Let me just say about you being married. Because they know and I told them my sister is married.
And
She
they
has a
go the
wife.
wife right there.
Mm-hmm. Because they know I be talking about, people being accepted in the LGBTQI.
Yeah, how it takes so long for people to get accepted when they doing. And look at her hugging. She be like, I can be around kids.
It's me and my sister. So this is me and my sister, y'all.
Hi, Merry Christmas.
The sister,
Wife.
this is my sister I was telling you about. And my sister-in-law is over here. Let me see something. Can they see? So my sister, I was gonna ask my sister some basic questions. My sister and her wife have been. How long have y'all been together?
Been together since 2013.
2013.
Got married April 27th of this year. Yep. Long time. Seemed like forever.
Y'all have known each other how long?
Over 20 years.
About 20,
25 and a half.
25 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
When they met each other, I was like 2 years old.
Oh yeah. And he's the oldest.
Watch your mouth, girl. Hey, Tweety. Tweety, I called you today and it went right to voicemail. I was calling you to wish you Merry Christmas, Tweety. I was at work when I called you, so it was like about 12 or 11. Okay, somebody asking you, sis, were you ever straight?
Yes. Yes, I have three kids. I have a 25-year-old, a 22-year-old, and a 19. No grandkids. He said, well, I'm so, oh, that's for
She
you.
was talking to me, yeah.
Yeah. Struggled with the buy for a long time.
I used
But
to have
yeah,
to ask my sister, I said, okay, you gay this month? Are you straight this month?
at first I was with whatever floats the boat. Whoever makes me happy, I was happy. So,
And this is the sister that drugged me out of the closet with her. Because when you came out, you told daddy about me also.
did I?
Yeah, did I?
I think we was young. I don't remember that.
Talking about did I? Because I told you daddy, he called me and he was like, so how long you been like that? And I was like, what? I was like, that damn Tawana.
He probably knew it was obvious. I mean,
I
you was
knew.
more feminine and I was a tomboy, so what would you expect?
So, but my father was very supportive of everything for me because he said I was his son. He loved me, and my father's the kind of father that would, hug you and kiss you on the cheek and everything. But so, do you think it was hard for you? Because how was Mama with you? And when I say Mama, I'm talking about our grandmother.
Oh, she was always fine. You know, she always was supportive, whether I was gay, straight, bi. I could be a nun and she ride. So,
And she used to all. I was telling a story that Mama used to say. She said, "So how long you like Peter?" My grandmother asked me how long did I liked Peter.
every time I wear his fridge, that bitch, little fish.
My grandmother would say fish, or she'd say queen. When she saw one of my friends, she was like, "Hey, queen." I was like, "Mama."
But ask me, who the boy, who the girl, who the man, who the woman. We both women.
My grandmother would ask my sister who the man and who the
Huh?
woman.
Okay, let me know when it's up on the game because I'm ready down for spade. I was a spade girl.
She's a spade girl.
Y'all want to see my wife?
My sister-in-law is pretty too. This is my
Yeah,
sister-in-law.
this is my wife. Big baby.
We are family. Yes. So this is a LGBTQI friendly family.
Come here. You want to show your face? Come here, Nana. Come here.
Merry Christmas.
Yes. So how was it for you? How was it for you coming out with family and stuff?
Wow. It was okay. But by my grandmother being a minister, there was some kind of issues. But
I didn't know your grandmother was a minister.
my dad's mom,
Okay.
yes, if she would have been living, it would have been 45 years. This year she would have been preaching.
Oh wow.
But she accepted it, but she wasn't coming to no weddings or anything like that. But they were okay.
And I think we have to realize that was a time that they came from. Also.
And it is. It is because
Mm.
I asked her, I said, well, when I get married, will you be at my wedding? She said, no hesitation, no. I said, I don't want you to perform my wedding. I want you to be. She told me no, and I respected that because I mean, that back in that
And they
time,
came, yeah, they
that's
came
what
from a
they
different,
believe.
right?
So
Exactly.
I couldn't be mad about it.
Thank you, Tweety. But and I think that we have to remember because we have to remember that we were not always at the place that we're at now.
Yeah.
As far as accepting who we are.
Yeah.
And then we can't even expect them to be so accepting when we had to deal with who we were.
Right.
So just imagine them dealing with having a daughter or a granddaughter or grandson that will.
Since I would say 20 when I came out and started talking to them about it and everything. 'Cause my dad asked me for years, and I denied it because of how I grew up. I was growing up.
And
So
that's
it's
under,
like, well,
yes.
do you like women? No, I don't. No, I don't.
Hmm.
But the whole time I was with the woman.
Okay.
But they're acceptable. I love them. Hey.
How many siblings you have?
See now that question, a lot.
Okay.
Mom's side and dad's side. So I would say it's like 7 or 8 on each side.
Hey,
That's
Doreen.
including me. So yeah.
Now, is there any other people that are LGBTQI?
I have I have an aunt, but which was born a male.
Your aunt was born a male, so she's transgender.
But I never knew she was a man.
Do y'all hear this? And this is my first time hearing this.
I never knew she was a man until
Are you kidding me?
I was about 6 or 7 years old. No, I was older than that. I was like maybe like 9. And I had friends telling me, "Oh, that's a man. That's a man. Look at the hands." And I'm like, "My ain't not a man." And one day slipped up and seen Mr. Peter, and I knew
Okay.
I knew then. So I was like, "Oh, okay," but don't treat her no different, you know.
So, and this was on your father's side.
That's my dad's brother. My grandmother only had 3 children, and all of them are
So how
boys.
was she, since she was a minister, how was she?
You cannot. Once you turn 18, you can do whatever it is that you want to do.
Okay.
Until then, you couldn't. So once my auntie turned 18, that was it. She was always walking in her shoes, playing in her
Is she
makeup, dressed
still
up.
alive?
Who, my aunt? Yeah, she's 65.
Your aunt is 65.
Mm-hmm.
I am totally, this is just really blowing my mind that she has a aunt that was born a man, but she's a trans woman now.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't even know that this,
Was a man.
your aunt
Was
was
a
your
man.
uncle at one time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because my grandmother would always say, "Oh, well, go tell him to come here," or, I'm like, "Who is
And kids
him?"
don't be thinking
Yeah.
about that.
Oh, well, go tell Dale to come here. Okay, well, why he ain't came here? Who is he? Who you keep talking about? He? Who is he? I'm looking at a woman with nails, makeup, long hair.
So is your aunt pretty passable?
Yeah, we look just alike.
Oh wow.
So like, if people don't know, or like guys who try to talk to her, things like that, it will always say, "This is my daughter."
Okay.
She, because we look just that much alike. But yeah, yeah.
I like to hear stories like that because me and Tawana, we had a uncle that was transitioning. Leonard was transitioning.
Yeah, but I didn't.
We never got a chance. And I was telling that story on one of my videos about our uncle. We had an uncle that was in California, and he started transitioning to become a woman, but he died in the 80s. I think when the AIDS epidemic happened.
Mm.
So he died before we got a chance to meet him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's 65.
Oh wow.
Still
In
looking
Houston?
in Houston. Hmm. Right in Fifth Ward.
I would love to talk to someone that age that
Oh, I could set up a,
set it up because
y'all can meet
I'll
and
do
talk.
that because it's always because we were talking about trans people and just
Hmm.
understand it because me being a gay man, it's a different world for me
Hmm.
than a trans person because men may get mad if they find out that she's a was born,
Born.
and that's a
Hmm.
lot they have to deal with that I don't have to deal
You
with.
ever talk about family? Yeah.
They knew my sister was asking me, did I ever tell y'all about my brother, our brother Samuel? Remember I told y'all about a brother that I had that passed away. That was our brother, and uh, I met him as an adult, but
Yeah. Me too.
it was really we were growing close, and just that was we were talking about when we lose family members and stuff, through, and I've been pretty transparent when I'm talking to them. Um, but the trans women have a lot of, it's a different fight. Even
It
with
is.
y'all, they look
Hmm.
at y'all different. They look at women like y'all different than they look at a stud. Y'all will be less attacked
Yeah. Of
by
course.
people that are homophobic
Yes.
because you look just like you know what I'm saying?
Regular people, they wouldn't think, oh, two films are together. They're
Right.
not even, yeah. But they see a stud or they see a guy that's more feminine, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
it's straight attacking.
And but see, when men see y'all, it's a different mindset when men have because they be like two women. They not
Hmm.
looking at studs and saying, you know what I'm saying? They be like,
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
up? That's my
Well,
homeboy.
I'm a
Okay,
homeboy. What's on there?
right.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm. But, as well though, in the LGBTQ community, there are studs that are with transgender
I've
women, but
seen
then
that.
they are some that are with just drag queens who has not transitioned over.
And people don't know there's a difference.
There's a big difference.
There's a difference between someone that's a drag queen
Queen
and someone
and
that's trans.
transgender, yes.
Because a lot of times, drag queens can take everything off and look
They can
like
take it
me.
off and that's it.
They can look just like me,
Hmm.
but then when they get shaved up and stuff, and a lot of
And
times,
get all dressed up. It's just
yes.
like,
And I
wow.
think so. How did you view drag queens different? Then what was your idea of
I don't view anyone different.
as
I
far
feel
as
that as if you're happy, I'm happy.
right?
Regardless if you feel that you want to be, dressed as a woman or, you want to live your life as a woman, I'm fine with that. But I still feel that as far as when it comes down to the physical capability, when it's fighting or things like that, no. Because a man is more stronger than a woman.
And that's what we had a discussion about that. I don't think that trans women should compete in sports with regular
They
women.
shouldn't. Like they have I think a UFC fighter,
And
which
I
is
was looking at
transgender.
that because our
How are
body
you
structure
letting
is
this
different. The
very
bone, the
bone?
musculature,
Yes.
it's different. I don't care how
Your
many
bone density
hormones
is
and everything
stronger
you
and
got.
everything.
Yes,
Yes.
you still have that testosterone that was in your system that made you
Hmm.
different physically than a woman. So why is it fair for
For
you to
you to compete,
compete against
yeah,
a woman?
it's not. I don't think that's fair.
If anything, you should make a whole different sports for them.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
Somebody said that would be a good interview if I talked with your
Oh, yeah,
aunt, and you. It's
yeah,
like
because like back in that day, they were out, but it's in Texas. No, you didn't see a lot of that.
it was more
And
like New
she
York
was
and places
born,
like California.
yeah, like New York, Chicago, not down in the South. And
Because in the
like I
South,
said,
you were still dealing with racism, and they wanted. And the thing is, I think it was the whole idea. They wanted you to be like as a black man. They wanted you to be tough and strong because you had to deal with
a lot
a
of
lot of obstacles as far as being the racist. Dealing with racists. And if they looked at you as being sweet or soft, it was an extra hurdle that you would have to overcome, and they didn't want black men. Fathers wanted black sons.
hmm
And that was an old teaching that they had.
old
We've
teaching.
come a long way as far as
Yes.
acceptance.
Yeah, because I was afraid to come out and say anything. Because when you grow up and you're in the church, when you
Mm-hmm.
grow up with a grandparent as a minister, and you're in church every day,
Mm-hmm.
and they're teaching you this is wrong, that's wrong, and I'm just like,
Hey,
I'm
Taiwan.
afraid to come out. I'm afraid to say anything because then what? You're gonna turn me away. You're gonna talk about me. How you were doing,
Mm-hmm.
Dale. How
And
how things gonna go.
that's so true because I think as a younger as a teenager, a young adult, I saw how other gay people were ostracized, and talked about.
Mm-hmm.
So it was me saying I didn't want to be that gay, that type
Yes.
of gay. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
it was me, because when they know that, when the first thing they ask you when they find out if you tell them you're gay, is like, do you want to be a woman? Or you can be dressed like a man. You can like with a woman, they'll say,
Mm-hmm.
so you want to be a
Yeah. Or
dude?
either they be like, oh well, oh okay. Or if you were around somebody say, oh well, turn. You want to change? Oh, well, turn around. Close your eyes or something when you change your clothes.
Because they think
Nobody
that
want to look at you.
because they think that all gay people want
What?
them
But
just because they're
I went
straight.
through that with my mom's mom.
Really?
She got real sick, and I moved back home to take care of her because she stopped walking. Just stopped walking.
Okay.
So I had to change, her diapers and stuff like that. But before that happened, I would help her and things like that. And I come in the room, oh Vicky, hold on, close your eyes, or hold on, don't come in. I'm changing clothes, and I'm like, just because I am a lesbian does not mean I'm looking at you that way. You are my grandmother.
Right.
Like what does
And that was that whole
and the, you know,
the
and it puts
idea from that old school that
and it just puts something in your mind like you get this attitude, your temper starts to flare up, and it's just like fuck everybody, like what I look like, like this incest, like what do I look like looking at you in that way? What do I look like looking at your ass, or you're like, come on, you're my grandmother, like, and it kind of hurt at the
hmm
same time that you would think that I would look at you in that way
right.
when I'm not, when I'm here trying to help you because you're down and out.
And you're my grandmother.
Yes.
Even more so, why would I want to look at you? You're a family member anyway.
And then you're old. But yeah,
I
like
remember a guy at work that said I walked down the hallway, and this was years ago, and I licked my lips looking at him. And I was like, no,
he
your
was
ass
LL
is
Cool J
60
on.
years. And I'm like, no, my damn lips were chapped. I wasn't paying him any attention. So why do you think, because I'm a gay man, that I was looking
And my
at you?
and licking my lips.
You 5'1" and weigh 300 pounds. Why the hell was I looking at you? So every gay person is not looking at straight people to turn them
We're not.
out.
It's the straight people that want to be turned out.
Okay. Because the thing is, what y'all have to realize is they know, if they know we're gay, we always have to be mindful not to make people feel that we got to try hard to not even make you think anything that we're going to try to flirt with you. Just we got to go extra. Let's say I'm not going to, let me not make eye contact too much because you're going to think I'm checking you out.
Mm-hmm. Or
Because they
I'm gonna
read
ask you for your
everything. They
number.
read into everything you do. Like, I'm not trying to look at you undressed in the locker room when we changing scrubs, at work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but they have to be mindful. That's just, if somebody said that's just ignorance. We're
Yes,
not,
it is.
because they do look at they look at my sister and sister-in-law as regular looking women per se, because they're not studs. Well, I don't know. They could be claws, they lipstick. But it's just like I've dated people that look just like me
Mm-hmm.
because I never wanted anyone that was
Too
too
feminine,
feminine
too yeah.
or so I've always liked gay men.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want anyone that had to come out to their family. I didn't want to date anyone that had to come out to their family.
Yeah.
You get
That's
to an
that's
age,
that's something that yeah.
where you're so comfortable with who you are that you don't want to deal
To
with
deal with that
walk
because
backwards.
what's the process is gonna be. Yeah.
Right. Merry Christmas, Valerie. Yes, Linty. Hey, Doreen. But they do understand because the thing is, when they see men, when they see two feminine women together, they all automatically think, yeah, you just haven't had the right one, or you know, it's, they think that they're gonna
They even
turn
say
them.
that to studs.
Yeah,
They
I've
even say it
heard
to
that too.
studs. But it's like, like I said, it's like, shit, ooh.
And the thing is, people just have to be respectful and know when you're telling them, this is who I am. Who I'm with shouldn't affect you any type of way.
Yeah. I don't wake up with you. I don't go to bed with you.
But I realized also that as far as women have it easier than gay men when it comes to black families or even society because men look at y'all differently than they look at me as far as
I mean,
because they y'all are turned on to them.
somewhat, but then some guys are very, very arrogant and ignorant,
Yeah.
even if it's two femmes. You know what I'm saying? And you tell them,
Hmm.
oh, well, I'm not interested, in you.
And they
Oh,
get
well,
pissed
what's wrong?
off.
Yeah, get pissed off and want to talk shit and want to curse you out. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, you ain't had this. You ain't had that. I got the big meat right here. Chop it off and chop it up and send it to your family.
So how many on there that
Who wants
has
it?
gay siblings and people in the family?
My sister's asking, so how many of you that have? Hmm.
I got to squeeze this little tush up in here because I just got a question. Okay, so I have a question. How many on here have a sibling that's gay, bi, or whatever? And when you found out, or how do you feel about your sibling being that way? And the reason I'm asking is because when I first found out about my brother, well, I already knew about him, but even with my other brother, our younger brother that passed away, like to me, like he said, like when it comes to me being feminine, I don't get a lot of backlash. But when it comes to my brother and my brothers, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I didn't want them to come out because I was always fearful that, straight people would try to hurt them, gay bash and shit like that. And then you have like a lot of people that will go out and sleep around and then try to come and mess with somebody, knowing that they messed up, and
And you
then
didn't
you
want
got your
us to be
brother and
affected by
yeah, and
like
stuff like
catching
that because
something.
we've been through that before. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. I do what I love for the death, but Undie not want to undress in front of her. Oh, baby, I would drop these clothes in front of anybody. And mean nothing by it. I mean, hey. But yeah, but that's mainly the thing. Like when we were younger, you know, that was my whole thing when it came to my brothers. That I didn't want nobody to know nothing because I didn't want nobody to try to hurt them and stuff. So
And that's the thing, though, because it was odd that we met our other brother, because
in a
Papa was a Rolling Stone. So we met our other brother. It just so happens we had always heard about him, but we just had never met him until we were adults.
Bring me that person.
But it just so happens that he was gay as well.
oh, that's cute. To answer the questions and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So they from everywhere. You don't
And they are from everywhere. Now I have some mods that are here in Houston,
Okay.
but a lot of these people are like East Coast, West Coast.
Okay. Places where we can go visit.
Okay.
You like the game?
Oh, I'm glad, Doreen, that you're at that point with her. But did you
Hey, how you doing?
Pastor Stephen? Somebody have a question, sis? I think y'all can probably.
Okay.
Okay. Pastor Stephen has a question. What's the question, Pastor Stephen? Let me see. This is a great night. I like this whole interaction that y'all are.
What
Okay.
y'all cook?
So Pastor Stephen said, "Do you think that homosexuality can be genetic?" I do.
I do.
No.
I just had to sit in on this one.
Okay,
And the
sis.
reason I said I do is because y'all heard the thing they call family curses and generation and all of the different stuff like that. And the reason I say that is because on our grandmother's side,
I don't believe I'm cursed. That's just my.
no, I mean as far as genetic wise, that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. It's like on my grandmother's side, I don't know, like we said, we had an uncle Leonard that was in transition. My grandmother had 5 or 6 kids, and my dad's his oldest three, my aunt, her oldest, my uncle, his oldest, and who else? It was like we have so many people on our side of the family,
Got Michelle.
and then not just that, honestly, like I was raised in the country and I knew nothing of the curse words of the
Mm-hmm.
homosexuality, no nothing. And when I came to Houston, and don't get me wrong, sometimes yes, genetically, but sometimes I do feel like it's taught to you because you don't know certain things until you see it on TV or you see people in the flesh doing it. It was introduced to me. I never knew, never had a clue, didn't have a feeling until I came to Houston and I was staying with my grandmother, and then that's when we met our cousin and stuff like that, and it was just interesting to me because I've
You
always
met which
been
cousin?
into men, Michelle.
Okay.
And I've always been into men, and then like when I saw her, and I was like, oh okay, and your mind get to thinking little stuff like that. Now my nephew came out, and it didn't bother me.
Hey
I see him at
QI.
3 years old.
My sister
Yeah,
QI is she LGBT also. This is my sister and her wife QI.
like,
Hey.
but some some
I've
things I
always
think
known
is
I was gay.
introduced.
I've always known.
I guess, cause
I've
like
always known too.
I can't say I always known because I didn't get curious until I started seeing things, and that's the honest truth. I mean, even though I was brought up in the church, was going to church every Sunday. I'm telling you, when I came to Houston, my first curse word was slut. Just to show you, I've never heard of a curse word, and this is a word that somebody told me to say to somebody. And then to actually act up on it, like I think I started noticing I was liking females probably like my junior year of high school, and I didn't act on it until like my senior year.
Because you're not really sexual too much as a child anyway. I think because
Hmm.
even let me because I tell people you were always molded to be heterosexual
Yeah,
because we're not raised to be gay.
true.
So it's like we're fight who we are is fighting against what we're raised as. Because I was a little boy that was growing up around other little boys. No one was putting me in a dress or
And then
anything.
remember when we used to go to daddy house for the summer times, remember them girls, them ladies, they used to stay next door and they used to have them thongs on. And that was like my first time even seeing a female in a thong. And daddy would always press the boys to look, never me, but the boys
Hmm.
and stuff. And then like, I think, I started watching porn and little shit like that. But yeah, I mean, to some people, there it's mainly an introduction. Like that's just what I feel. But with our family, I can't speak on everybody's family, but with our family, especially on my dad's side, yeah. And I feel like it was just us though. It was like we had our group and our handful from the uncles to the cousins, then to us, but nobody on my mama's side. And
That you
that's
know of.
crazy. Yeah, that I know of. Yeah,
Because
it's
sometimes
crazy.
there be people that are closeted. What you say?
Yeah, just man. Yeah.
But then you got me and my brother too.
No,
Yeah.
But I think that it was harder for older cousins because we're at a different time period where it's not cool to be against people that are gay.
Yeah, cause
It
see,
was cool back in the days, like think about how rappers and stuff could rap and say the F word and stuff. And
hmm
nowadays, you better not come out and say anything about the LGBTQ people. It's not cool to talk about.
okay, I got a question for the pastor. That's just like, okay, he's asking a question. That's just like, what is it? Dwayne Wade is that the one with the
Dwayne
son?
Wade.
hmm
And this is just my thing. Okay, like even though he feels his son is, and the little boy feel he is, I feel like even though he's young, he still haven't had life to experience. But then, I don't know if, like my brother say, I mean, he been knowing for a long time. I didn't know
But I
until
didn't
after
want
I
to. I
got
didn't want to
older.
dress up as a woman or
You
anything
know,
either.
that's the thing. Like with the, like I said, like with the Dwayne Wade and his kid, like I don't feel like he's given a chance, or I mean, I don't know, because he could just be liking the lifestyle, living feminine and all that does not necessarily mean that he's gay. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like you know, just because you feminine don't mean that you like a
That's
certain
true.
way,
Yeah,
you know, and
That's
stuff
yeah.
true.
like that. I think that they need to give him a chance. I mean, not go against him. Yeah, of course, support him, but you just don't.
And then
You just can't say he LGBT,
and
you know,
even
or that
Magic. But
he's
look,
gay.
some Doreen was saying about Magic Johnson's son as well. They've been supportive of their kids. I think at that with Dwayne Wade, I look at that in two different ways because your child, it's a cruel world out there,
Mm-hmm.
and kids are mean. So unless he's going to be protected for a long time away from it, because he's not Dwayne Wade.
And
You
see,
know, he's his son, so
Yeah.
he's going to have to deal with people that may not be as kind to him as his family.
but that's just like how they allowing the little boys to dress like girls. What's that? That actress? She's raising the
A
little
white
boy.
woman.
Yeah, they got the little
Oh,
black little boy and
she.
dressing up.
I
I
forgot her
mean,
name.
I
I
just
oh,
feel like
Lord.
they rushing the children. You rushing
Let
them.
them come into their own
Yeah.
sexuality. I think,
Yeah,
but
but I mean, if a child speaks and tells you this is what they want, this is who they are, this is what they like, then they already know.
and I agree too with that because
So you
it's
know,
kind of
it's
I'm kind of in this area because you don't want to force a child to be something that they're not.
that
If
they're
they're
not.
telling
Mm-hmm.
you that this is who I am, I feel like this. If that child is just miserable with you trying to make them be a
Make
certain
them
kind
to
of
be
way,
a certain way.
that child can you can make that person have behavioral problems and just be
And be
miserable as
miserable. They
true.
can it can lead to death
Or
also.
get or someone that marries a woman that they never wanted to be with and make her life hell because
No.
they never wanted to be straight
And see, and
anyway.
that was my thing. Like I've married twice, and I think like when I married the first time, it was more to make my mama happy because I always be like I could be with a man or a woman, but I did the right way because daddy was a preacher, mama was, you know, she would have her beliefs. Hey, dark and lovely fam. Hey there, critical thinker. Who's that? QI critical thinker. Okay.
Come here.
And see, and then like speaking on kids, and I can say this from experience of myself. Before my oldest daughter passed away, she was a lesbian.
I had
She
a
was a
niece that
stud,
passed away. Yes,
and
her
I'm not
daughter.
gonna tell you no lie. When I've been at first before I turned all the way I am. I was bi for years, and you know, like when kids little, they, oh, I bet you, I wonder if that's a boy or a girl. And I've always tried to protect my kids, and even though I was living my lifestyle, I wanted my kids to be the right way, which is the right. When I mean the right way is the way that you was raised up, the kids, you know, in church and not messing with same sex and stuff like that. And I can't tell you no lie, my mom was so mad at me. It was
Thank you,
like
Lynn.
they felt like I was putting my lifestyle on her as well as with my oldest sister. But again,
That's who she was. That
it
was
took my grandmother to tell my mom that my daughter was exactly who she was. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the way that the world is, I mean, just if you think about it, people probably been gay like forever, but if you look back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, they wasn't coming out like Lil Richard and shit. Yeah, because they was musicians and you know, they didn't have a problem with it. But as far as like now, compared to back in the day, everybody gay or dipping and dabbing or trying
thank
to
you,
figure
dark and
out
lovely.
something. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where like, and it's not even that. It's just to me. I think some people just go overboard with it. You know, and not saying that a lot of people ask for you know certain things, but you don't have to be. You know, you have some people that's so flamboyant and you try to push it into people's face. That's what I don't agree with.
But I think because I've never been that person, maybe they just feel comfortable like that because we're not like that.
You
We
know,
may
that's
look at them because we're judging them just how straight people would judge us.
and then you know like that's just like you seen it too. The last
I
one that just
haven't
came
seen.
out.
I
Okay,
know.
where in the beginning they got this gay couple, and the dude he was just like you know him and this dude they was cool at the carnival, but then you know the dude's like hey faggot such and such and all this other different stuff, and the dude he was finna walk away and he was like yeah but what do you want in return, you know, and it's always the straight people that act like they would never do nothing out of the ordinary, and they do it all. And
Mm-hmm.
and that's my thing. If you're gonna do something, just be true to yourself and don't be out there fucking around with everybody. That's my whole thing.
And the thing is, you also have to be aware that be who you are. Don't marry. A lot of men marry women and they know that they're gay. Don't do that to a woman because you're changing her whole. She's looking at you as being forever.
Yeah, it
Um,
was frowned upon.
People think we should fit in a box, and I don't think because there's different. There are different layers of gay people. Because my sister's feminine, and people would see her and expect for her to be with someone that's really studied.
Yeah, or I get a lot of if
But
I
my
am with a
sister, I
stud, they'll
think my
ask.
sister a closet stud anyway.
They'll ask, if they see me with a stud, well, if they see me with a stud, well, why not be with a man? That wasn't what I chose. You have a lot of that.
Hmm.
So yeah,
But I think it's just becoming accept loving yourself, and you can't make everyone happy because there are gonna be people that don't like you.
my neck looks small.
Okay. There are gonna be people that don't like you just because of who you are.
Don't try to say that because I come sit down over here. Like I'm just that big.
Thank
Like I
you,
can ready
Raina.
to school.
Someone said QI was saying studs do get a lot of discrimination. I agree.
Yeah.
Studs get a lot of discrimination just because they're studs. Studs get the same discrimination as people that are trans or drag queens will get because they're more recognizable and they can say that's the kind of gay. They'll
Yeah,
point.
but a lot of studs too think that they are men, and they come off that way. You know what I'm saying, with their arrogance, and that is what makes everyone else attack them because of how they are.
You,
All studs aren't that way.
that's true. And
All studs aren't. But then you have some that come up, they grab it between their legs, and that's why some men react the way they react to them and say, "Hey, well, you want to be a nigga? I'm gonna treat you like one." But then my thing is, regardless if they are or not, it's still a female. So to me,
right,
you look like a bitch to put
trying to
your hands
fight on a female because
on a
that
female just
regard
because
the
she dresses
exterior.
as a woman.
Right, exactly.
That's still a
I don't think
woman
any man. My thing is keep your hands to
to yourself.
yourself.
Yeah.
Keep your hands to yourself. But if you're angry and you're just going after a person because she a stud, you're wrong
You're
because
very
that
wrong.
is a woman
That's still a
still.
woman. Yeah. And just because she chooses to be with a woman or like a woman, it doesn't matter.
Hmm.
I'm feminine, but hey, it may be a time you may see me with some sweats on and some tennis shoes and a muscle shirt. That doesn't mean anything.
QI says she a stud with class. But I think that a lot of times people like to put you in categories and they're at the end of the day, a lot of times your type of a lesbian and my type of a gay man
Mm-hmm.
are easier to digest to some people. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that, it's because, and that's not fair because they look at us as being able to mix in with heterosexuals a lot of times, even though I don't think that I pass like that, but I'm not one of those gay people that they've been all that have looked at said that say that F.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's
You see,
hard.
there's a pastor on there, right?
It's a pastor.
Okay, ask him this. That I want to know. How do he feel about being homosexual? How do he feel about homosexuality? Being a pastor.
Pastor, are you on here? Still, my sister had a question. If you heard the question,
There you
okay.
go. Yes, he's still on there.
The question I wanted to know is, how do you feel about homosexuality, knowing that you're a pastor and you read the Bible? Do you read the same thing that the other people read that keep saying that it's a sin? I'm just asking. Welcome to the channel.
That's my moderators that in the blue. Babe, my moms be blocking people and everything. They gonna be playing. Okay, Pastor.
And they try to make it seem as if homosexuality just popped out
The
when
Bible is
back
not
in the
against
biblical
all.
days there was homosexuality.
Is the pastor day? What is it? I don't really
It's the
have been praying on it, to be honest.
okay.
Oh,
From my thing, from what I read and
'Cause you
from
know
what
one
I
of my people-
understand,
oh, somebody asked if the pastor.
what I read and from what I understand from the reading, it's not so much of you going to hell for being gay, because even in the message it did not say that you was going to go to hell for sleeping with same sex. That was not the thing. And honestly, I don't feel nobody is going to hell for being gay. We have done so much bigger sins,
Mm.
and I don't really feel like no sin is bigger than the other. But I mean, to say that you going to hell for being gay, come on now, like shit, people in stole, they got tattoos, they got earrings, they got
Piercings.
all this other different stuff. But you, and a lot of people pick and choose of what they want to be seen at that time, which is
Mm-hmm.
very crazy, because you got a problem with me now, but you ain't had a problem with me just a few days ago when I was helping you do something or some shit like that.
And they like
Yeah,
the
don't you? Yeah, all
gift.
of it.
They like the gifts of what gay people can bring. The
Yeah, since the
ministers of
beginning of
music.
time. Yeah, and I've even
Mm-hmm.
read little certain scriptures and heard things, as far as,
No sex
what he
before.
said was, do not try to sleep with his angels. That's what I read. But everybody's taking that misconcept and saying, oh, he said, you can't sleep with this. That's not what he said. He said, do not sleep with my angels, when he sent them out to destroy Solomon and Gomorrah. It didn't have anything to do with homosexuality. He specifically said, do not try to sleep with my angels. So that's why I'm confused, because everybody wants to throw the Bible in when it's only convenient for them.
Amen.
And even what about people that are hermaphrodites? What happens to
What
them?
happened to them? Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Q,
Because
but
they're
QI is
they're
pretty sharp though, because she said Sodom and Gomorrah was not about sexual
Sexual
abuse.
abuse.
yeah.
It wasn't about homosexuality. It was about sexual abuse.
It's about sexual wisdom.
I'm
Yeah.
doing a lot of studying on it. Yeah, I understand that, Pastor.
Studying. I respect that.
Yeah. Because I mean, that's just like, I can't tell you no lie and tell you, like, I would love to go to church every Sunday. You think I wouldn't want my wife and I to be like, we do sit by each other, we don't hold hands, and we don't do all this other different stuff. But the first thing that you see is somebody looking, or somebody got something to say. That's why a lot of people cannot turn to church either.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy
Because
how
it's like you're not
people-
welcome there. So why am I
Yeah.
going somewhere where I don't feel that you're welcoming me?
And knowing that they're gonna talk about anybody regardless. I mean, like, you think we don't want to learn about God and stuff like that? I mean, that's why they say take it upon yourself, and you understand whatever message, and you choose, your religion or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
because everybody know that God is real. We just can't sit up there and say, because the Ten Commandments. I mean, like, who wrote them? I mean, I have a lot of questions. I just try not to question.
Well, they say God speaks to people.
You know what I'm saying? I have a
That's
lot of
how it
questions. I just don't do the questioning or try to question, what is it that to believe?
So
My-
question.
Just-
what
just.
what everyone that's on here, what is your intake on the Bible?
What's wrong with having
From the
a
Old
Bible
Testament to the
beside you?
New Testament.
True. Yeah.
Raina, exactly. Yeah, I was listening to what Raina was saying. 'Cause-
Right? And having children before marriage, having sex before marriage, pissing your ears.
I mean,
tattoo
it's
on
like
your
you
body.
can barely breathe without.
Yeah, if that's the case,
I mean,
nobody is going
ain't nobody
to
going to
heaven.
heaven. Everybody going to hell.
That's true. Punitive
Yeah.
damages. That's true. That is
yeah.
so true.
That's why they try to set everybody off to be like segregating your own LGBT. Like Montrose got their own area, and I don't feel
And
like
Montrose
it should
is
be,
our gay
yeah.
area
But
here.
that's yeah.
It's just like,
And
life
even
is just
I mean, it's
crazy.
just that
period.
spot for the LGBT community, but they can venture anywhere. But that's where a spot
Our
that you can
comfort
come to
zone.
be comfortable.
Our
And you don't have to worry about people judging you or trying to attack you or hurt you in any type of a way. Because a person can go to a straight club, but then what's gonna happen? Oh, look at that pig, that punk,
Trisha.
or that faggot, or oh, that bitch thinks she's this, that, she like, who wants to deal with that? Who
Yeah, I
wants to
haven't
go
read
through
enough
that?
of the Bible. I don't think any of us read enough of the Bible to speak on it. I mean, well, no,
No, no, no.
we can speak on it, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think none of us we even have enough time to even read the Bible because
To read it, and I
to
think the
even
Bible
get to
contradicts itself.
understand it.
The Bible
Yeah.
contradicts itself.
And
I
that's
do feel
true.
that it is.
And you have to be honest with your,
It has been rewritten
by men a
so
lot
many
of
times
times.
by man. So you're telling me God is speaking to man to hate someone? No.
Yeah.
God is
That's
speaking
where
to a
I'm
man
at.
to say, hey, I'm not condoning this. This is not what I like, but God doesn't hate. God doesn't judge. But the man is judging. The man is hating.
Because people have used the Bible to make slavery, to use slavery.
But
did you learn anything when you read it
the
from
Bible
beginning
was
to the
given to the
end?
slaves for
And
them
yeah, a lot
to
of
be
people
able
do take
to.
things out of context.
What?
Yeah, I feel he loves everyone.
She won't let go of her hand go. I'm not sleeping.
She ain't gonna go sleep till we get back in the truck.
She playing. She got leg go.
I like that song.
I know.
Okay.
Look, I'm talking about I don't.
And dancing.
And dancing to it, right? Yeah,
But,
I just think that the Bible really does contradict itself. It's like you can go into the Old Testament, into one of the books of the Bible and read something, and then go into the New Testament.
And why would it have to be rewritten? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think,
yeah, if this is something that God has stated and God has placed into text, it should be what it was the day that it was out, and that's that. So why is the white man coming in and rewriting the word of God? Because they want what? To put in what they want us to do. They want
Right.
us to,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? They want us to live by their rules and their
then-
standards. And this is not what God stated.
And then punitive damages said, don't forget the missing books as well.
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
that's why I try to say. Yeah, my
That's
grandma
why
was a
I would
pastor.
say
It's
I'm
like,
spiritual.
I know a lot of things. I may be a lesbian, but when you're growing up with a pastor as a grandmother, and then when you venture off into your adulthood and you start to learn things on your own and realize that a lot of things that was taught is not actual facts. It's not actual, truth.
And this stuff has been passed down generation to
So
generation. Because, you may have been taught this by Meemaw or Paw Paw, and they had their own interpretation of what they was teaching you.
Yes. That's like my grandfather's always say. He didn't finish school. Why you didn't finish school? Oh, because they wanted me to go outside for recess. So he dropped out of elementary.
And the thing is, so with him dropping out like that, you may have more life experiences because you live more and seen more.
Seen more, yeah.
Thank you. Somebody said about my family. Your family has a sweet spirit like you, Rebel. Oh, thank you, CPR nurse.
She on the thing.
Oh, you
Yeah.
you in the chat?
You in the thing?
I've never seen it. I was excited.
So my sister's going on. My sister's going on and watching the chat from her phone.
I'm excited.
You should do your own YouTube.
Yeah, look, I'm the sister with no rhythm.
You dancing like this woman named Tracy on here, but you got more rhythm than Tracy. But
It's been homosexuality in the Pharaoh days. Yep, it sure was.
thank you, Dark and Lovely. Thank you, Pastor Stephen. You know what? I think it's about love and respect. Let's see what else they're saying.
It's Pastor Stephen in Houston.
Pastor Stephen, where are you at? Oh, Pastor Stevens, you're in Houston?
Oh, Harris.
Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I've been to Philly. One of my good friends, one of my best friends stay in Philadelphia. That's your, oh my God, really?
I told you just like them.
Yes. Oh my
And this
God.
is at the time when, after my grandmother passed, she kind of started going back. Like, you don't see her with dresses anymore. It's more slacks and just a shirt. And like I told her, I said, I don't know this person. What are lashes?
Mm-hmm.
What a makeup? Now she still got the curls. But what a lashes? What a makeup? What a nails, babe? I'm used to. Don't change up. Continue to be you.
That's right. That's right.
You, like I told her today, you 65 years old, baby. Continue to be you. And also, people, I had my father come to me. And tell
Good
me,
night. Good night, Pastor Steve. He's saying
oh, good night. And come to me and tell me that my aunt is the reason why I'm who I am. And I wonder why and how.
Why would that even have a?
I guess because he feels that she's, you know,
Because,
and
but your
how
aunt,
can she make me?
because your aunt is being a woman, became a woman.
Mhm.
So why would her becoming
she
a woman
woman
make
make me
you
gay?
be a lesbian? Because lesbians supposed to be wanting to be men. The stereotype. So why
Exactly.
would her transitioning to a woman
Exactly.
make you become a
And he also
lesbian
tells
woman?
me, say, "Oh, that was a choice that you made." And like I tell him, that wasn't a choice. I was born this way. When I could turn my head and look at a woman, that's what it was. But it's, you know, it is hard to come out when you're raised in that type
QI,
of
that's
family.
so true. They have these conspiracies.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, they be thinking because you're a lot of times the lesbian aunt or the gay uncle, you're gonna be the one that's trying to touch on your nephews or your nieces or you know.
And that's crazy because it ain't no. I mean, like they try to make that the biggest subject, but they want to
And
keep
it's
child
always the straight.
molestation and all that shit up under the motherfucking rug. I mean,
And the
like,
people
yeah.
that are child molesters usually identify as straight.
As straight people.
They're not going to the gay
A
club
straight-
and saying that
and
they're
A
a gay
straight
man.
man
Messing with the boy.
messing with boys.
And that's
A woman messing with, you know, raping
Yeah, that's
like
my
kids,
kind of
you know what I'm
music.
saying? Like,
Yep.
come on now. Y'all doing too much.
the stereotypes are crazy.
Very, very crazy.
So, how did the pastor feel about his lifestyle? Is
He said good
He
night.
said good night.
He's
Oh.
straight. He was,
Oh, he's straight.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
But one of my friends on here who I do the gentlemen because we do we do like a group panel every Thursday.
Mhm.
It's on YouTube. It's called the Gentleman's Panel.
Okay.
So one of the person that's the founding person of the Gentleman's Panel is a gay pastor.
Okay.
So you'd have to check him out. That's when I went to San Antonio before I went to a meet and greet with him.
Okay.
Okay.
But he says he's bisexual, but he has a
It's
partner.
just whatever makes him happy. That's just how I feel. Whoever
Because-
makes you happy. is-
Raina,
because
stop it.
I don't
Raina, you see
I
I
don't
cleaned
feel-
that up, Raina. You see I cleaned. I said bye.
I don't feel I'm gay or straight. I feel that I love my wife and that's who I'm with. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm a proud member of the LGBTQI,
I am
and I'm
proud.
waving a flag. Hello.
Very proud
there's nothing wrong
lesbian.
with- I mean, yeah, but you know what I'm saying?
You just fluid like that. Are you? Do you look at yourself as being fluid?
Just whoever makes her happy, but that's out.
Q, I said I'm a proud
But-
stud.
say it's my husband right here. Now. It's my husband.
Yep, the only husband and wife. This is it.
Oh, that's how it should
It's their
be. True.
business, yo.
Right.
Honestly, I don't think it's a difference whether you're in a gay relationship or straight relationship
It's no
because
different, yeah.
honestly, you're gonna get hell from a straight person or a gay person. They all take you through the same shit. It really don't even matter whether you gay or straight.
Because it's a relationship.
It's a relationship,
It's still a relationship, and that's what people don't
Listen,
look at. That it's just
This
it's
has
still a
nothing to do with the
relationship.
Bible. The Bible's supposed to be not interpreted. However, how can one understand without interpretation? Therefore, it's telling me not to think.
Because, see, those are some pretty deep conversations right there. Because a lot of times we've been raised to think certain ways. Somebody talking about show us a twerk. My sister did twerk earlier. She was twerking. But I do think that you have to, people are people. You can't be miserable because people sometimes be 60 and 70 just coming out of the closet.
Yeah, because they've been so afraid because of how society is.
Yeah, like that movie, If These Walls Could Talk.
I
Hmm.
remember that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had like two of
Hey,
them.
y'all ever saw Boys Don't Cry?
Yeah,
Yes.
I didn't like that.
That
I didn't like
that
it
That
because
was
they
that
all
they
made
girl,
me
they boy. I mean,
so
that girl.
mad.
Yeah.
It was like sad and angry because that
Hmm.
was real
Church do
life.
hurt because everybody judgmental, and the church only hurt. It doesn't hurt them when they got a gay choir member or a
Because they
pianist.
want the talents
Yeah,
of the
They
gay
want.
yeah,
people.
yeah.
Yeah, babe.
I'm with you, Trisha. People should just be
Yeah.
honest with who they are.
Who they, yeah.
Be honest.
Straight, gay, bi, hey, it is what it is.
Do y'all feel that y'all have? What about with your interaction with gay men? Because sometimes there's been a separation with the lesbians and gays, and then there's the white
Personally,
gays and the black gays. I get along with the lesbian women personally. I've never had an issue. It was the two types of gays I usually didn't like was
hmm
studs that were like, oh, thank you, Jeremy Avalos. Um, I didn't like studs that was so hard that they came across as assholes.
it's that,
Then I didn't like the queens that were so flamboyant that they tried to be so bitchy and have like nasty, like
I know
real.
exactly
Yeah,
what
no.
I know exactly
It
what
was
you're
like
talking
those
about.
two extremes that I didn't get along with. Because if you're a lesbian, why are you not friendly and just cool? Why do you gotta act like a man that's hard and just unemotional or just pissed off at the
I
world?
mean, but that would be the same thing as for a straight man,
A straight what?
woman, regardless if they're gay or not. What you just stated,
Just,
they could come off as the way you just stated. It's
oh,
just a
yeah,
woman.
okay.
You see what I'm saying? It's just a woman. It's just how women are.
So what Q, I said I get along with decent gay men. I get along with decent people because they're gay
Yeah.
men or gay and lesbian women I just don't like because they're grimy anyway.
Yeah.
Be a good person.
Yeah. That's like I don't have a problem. Long, hey, you love who you love.
Hey,
We all can get
Desirata.
along.
Look
You
at my
know.
sister dancing. She dancing. There she go.
Old school. They
Okay.
can't hear that music though.
She gone now.
I think they can hear it,
Yeah.
but
I don't know. It's just, man, this world is a crazy, crazy, crazy place. And
they don't even respect because we talked about this. You and I talked. A lot of time, straight people don't respect your relationship because a man can come along and still flirting with your girl
like with your girl, a woman can come and do it too. It just
because they don't look at your relationship as being as balanced as their relationship.
they don't think it's
straight.
a serious relationship.
Right.
They think it's this is something that this person is just doing, a play toy.
Hmm.
Not me, not mine. I'm not me, not mine.
Okay.
We tied the knot. That's what it is. I ain't playing behind mine. So any type of that's one thing I don't deal with is disrespect, and that's from anybody,
Hmm.
straight, gay, bi, whatever. Disrespect. If I don't disrespect you, don't disrespect me. You, in order to receive it, you have to give it. And I was always taught that way. And like my grandma say, if they ain't giving it, shit, talk to the
But
motherfucker how you want to talk to them.
I witnessed it more so with straight men
Mhm.
disrespecting lesbian couples.
But you know what? And that's what kills me. Straight men, but it's lesbian couples and it's the gay men. And it pisses me off to where it's like they say, oh well, don't bring that dude around me, or don't bring her around. Why?
Don't bring
If they're
the
not
dude-
coming in, they're not in your personal space, they're not touching you, they're not trying to come
Right.
at you.
Why are you
Why do you have a
intimidated by
problem?
who
Why
I
are you
am?
intimidated? Why?
Let me ask
A
my
person
cousin.
can
Let me
say-
ask my cousin. Cousin,
Chris,
let me ask you a
Chris, like
question.
this way.
This is a hetero man. I have a question. I'm gonna ask you this question. He trying to act like he don't want to be on camera. Do somebody's sexuality make you uncomfortable?
Male or female?
No.
Because you are who
even
you
if
are.
Frederick wasn't in the family, if it was just a nigga off the street,
And he was gay.
we wouldn't have a problem with being cool with him.
My family.
But what if they're
What if
not?
not your family?
And y'all end up meeting each other, you know, at a sports bar or something,
No.
and they gay. And
It
like,
had
hey,
to be cool too.
yeah.
Or
Would you
do
hang out with that
or
person, or
would
would you
you-
have a problem?
But
Or would no, now it wouldn't even be have a problem. Or would you just feel like other people would think if y'all hang together that they would feel like you get down too? So you can hang with one.
because
Like
you
y'all
got, but
can
you
vibe.
gotta. I gotta be honest. Sometimes if you don't have a similar, I don't think just straight people generally, straight men will generally handle gay men simply because of
Hold on. Depending on the type of gay man.
yes, that's the thing. That's the
gay
thing.
man. If
If you
they're
don't
very,
look-
if they're very flamboyant,
Yeah, because they're
I don't
wrong.
think, I don't think that a straight guy would.
Because
be
they
able-
won't kind of
Yeah,
male.
they just like, you know, like,
That won't be the
Well,
same.
yeah,
That won't because that's not like his homeboy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it would make
Because
them
if
feel
the
because
studs can
Darren
hang, because the
feel
studs can
yeah.
hang with regular guys and be cool because they act in the same
whereas
way.
they, yeah.
They can watch sports. A queen ain't gonna want to sit down with him and watch no damn football game.
Maybe
Hello?
maybe some.
But generally speaking,
Cause this queen like,
But my
football.
family's
This queen
pretty-
like football now.
okay. But I asked this question. What you grinning over there about? Now she just doing that photo shoot tonight. But you gotta ask,
Yeah.
because my family's pretty. My family's never been the kind of family that's just judge people anyway. People do what they do, and they not
Don't be.
right.
Yeah.
Don't be.
That's like my brothers. They don't have a problem with homosexuality. They don't have a problem with gay men. The only problem is, and they will tell you, I will knock them out if they come, you know, if they try to make a pass, if they try to come onto them. Other than that, I've seen them hang with, you know what I'm saying, gay guys, and don't have.
But it's a
care in the world.
respect thing
But
in general.
But some gay men don't have that respect.
And that's true. That is
'Cause they
so
don't give
true.
a damn. They'll come up and, you know, and be trying.
Because I've
It's
told
like,
people
don't do
that's
that.
kind of, it makes me uncomfortable if a person's so pushy with,
Mm-hmm.
listen, stop. You don't just push into a person's personal space.
Space, yeah.
If this person is straight, why are you trying to,
Yeah.
don't
Push
try to
into their
turn
space, yeah.
somebody or you think that everybody wants you.
Unless
because
they
it's-
come to you.
Let that person, it's a respect thing.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Lynn says she loves football. You gone.
Yep.
And I couldn't tell you none of that.
I'm with you, sis.
Oh, she can't. Yeah.
And that's the thing.
It's-
I'm not. And the thing about sexuality is, I've never been the kind of gay man that said, "Oh, I'm gonna make him gay," or "I want him," because I don't want to make a person uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable.
I could think you're attractive. You would never know that
You
I
would
think
never
you're
know.
attractive because I don't cross lines like that.
Mhm.
I've never approached a straight man ever in my life. I've always been approached by men that I thought were straight. Because they know I'm gay. I don't know if you
Yeah.
mess
Yeah,
around.
that's right, yeah.
I mean, that's just like y'all. They wouldn't just try to
That's
approach
Trey.
y'all. Okay, Trey. Hey, Trey. But
Yeah.
women, straight women would approach a stud before they approach y'all. If the person is curious. Because it's something about a stud that may turn them on.
But you know what? No, not necessarily because all this feminine, me being feminine all my life, I have had straight women come to me and ask me to be their first to show them what to do.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Excuse me, I am your sister.
Okay.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
I've even had gay men like approach me, but hey, teach his own. But you know what I'm
Wait.
saying?
Gay men have approached y'all?
I had gay men approach me. The only thing they wanted from me,
To have a baby. Okay.
oh, our babies would be beautiful. And I just tell people, if I would be the old lady that lived in the shoe, because there were so many drag queens, transsexuals that come at me and say, I want you to have my child.
Mm.
And guess what? I have none.
Okay, that part.
None. None. I would have been walking around here, house full of kids, if I was that type, you know what I'm saying, of person. But it's like, oh, let's have a baby. I want a baby with you. Oh, okay.
I agree,
Why is that?
Raina. Raina said a lot of straight women are bi, truth be told. Women by nature are open to experimenting.
True.
I think
Yeah,
so.
very true. Yeah.
But do you think that when the gay guys have approached you, because that's so, it's just like I'm really
For your pants up.
You
intrigued
don't.
by that.
I
How would
mean,
they approach y'all? What would they say?
What?
I mean,
they
besides
come
the baby,
they just
besides
come
having a
and talk to
baby,
you.
but have y'all been like at a club and they tried to flirt?
When
I've been
I
out in
first
the open. I've
when
been
I
in
first
work
when I
places.
came out and I was going into the club scene and everything, they were approaching me left and right, drag queens and transsexuals.
Okay.
I mean,
Now, don't get me
but
wrong.
you know, it's like some of them beforehand they had girlfriends. You know what I'm saying? In middle school, high school, and things like that, they had girlfriends. They have children.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like they chose to go ahead and say, "Hey, well, I'm grown now. I'm gonna transition over, into a woman." But that's why I say it's like a lot of studs. I mean, a lot of transsexuals and drag queens. If they do deal with a woman, it's a stud.
Mm-hmm.
You
I've
rarely
seen that.
see fem. It's either two studs with studs, femme with femme, or stud and femme. But then you see drag queens with these studs.
Cause I've seen, and this is
They
recently.
got married. I know a
I've
few
seen,
of them.
yeah, it's one that's on Facebook, and he has children.
And one they just
Yeah,
had a baby.
and one on my Instagram.
One
the
of them just had a
guy,
baby.
the guy is the wife, and the stud
Is
is the
the-
family.
is the
But when
one-
they got married, she wore a dress, the
And the-
girl wore a
and-
dress, and the guy wore a tux. You know what I'm saying? No, on my page right now.
Oh, really?
Surrogacy.
And see,
Yeah.
when my in
I'm
my
gonna
gay
be tired. I am
family,
gonna
one
be
was a
tired.
drag
What time
queen
is
and
it?
the other was a stud.
Quarter to 11. You ready to go?
When
I'm
they
gonna
got
be
married,
leaving, yeah,
the
in
guy
Thank you
dressed-
for
the guy
saying
dressed
that.
in drag.
Thank you for saying that about me
As a
being
woman,
tired,
as a stud with a stud.
Lynn
That's how they got
T.
married.
Because I need to get out of here, and I'm glad that you reminded me about that.
And it was nice meeting y'all.
Yes, it was.
Merry Christmas. I'm gonna be joining on the chat next time.
Did you subscribe to my channel?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And don't change your name on there too.
Don't change my name.
Change your name on there
How do I do that?
when you
You'll
go.
show me. You'll show me.
Okay. Thank y'all. Thank you. They say they love my family.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm the youngest sister. This is the oldest brother.
Watch your mouth, girl. I'm gonna get the coalition of queens to disband you out of the gay organizations.
What is the name?
Yeah, Leah, just be the main one going in on me about being on here late and stuff.
Huh?
Rebel Son, it's you. Space Bar. Space Bar. Girl, Space
Oh,
Bar. It's you.
Thank you, Doreen, and thanks everyone for the super chats. I really appreciate it.
I put no. You clicked on it.
They enjoyed y'all talking. You know what? Cause y'all enjoyed when I had my friends DJ and BJ on here. You met my friends. You met DJ and
My
BJ
bad, I
them
gotta
before.
remember my
Yeah.
face.
So y'all, they enjoyed my friends coming on because we was talking like this.
Mm-hmm.
But
So they if I was to join you from home, I can be added into the screen like that, right? Or I just be typing it in.
you just be typing.
Oh,
it
okay,
in.
okay.
But we could do oh, excuse me. We could do a stream yard, and we like be talking, and they could be watching us talk. But we have to work that. But Raina, I'm still afraid to host it on my channel because the gentleman's panel. I'm going to host it in January, sometime in January, but I'm just nervous about doing it. DM Lamb came back. Yeah, we still hang. We getting ready to shut it down because I gotta get up bright and early in the morning. But I'm glad that my sister and my sister-in-law came on here. And, you know, we had a good conversation. Thank you, Lynn T. But y'all, I'm out. Thanks thanks for the love.
Babe,
Peace.
I found
Bye.
peace, love, and LGBT.
And
LGBT. LGBTQI. Okay. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.